Hi friends, my name is Garrett. I am a musician, and today doing a little reharmonization exercise and bringing you along with me, specifically a reharmonization exercise in a style in which I tend to write music. I apologize if you see me occasionally looking down to this angle. That's where I have my my recording software set up on a screen down there, and if I look back to it, that's just myself trying to make sure that everything is still okay, and that my computer is not really dying. As you probably can hear, the fans are going quite loud, so if you hear white noise, it's either the fans or it's my refrigerator over there, which if that is the case, I do sincerely apologize. However, I have over here my DAW, my digital audio workstation of choice, which is Logic Pro 10. This is the workstation that I write all my music in and that I tend to try my best with. I also do have my microphone slightly obscuring a portion of my screen, but I hope you will stick with me through this journey while I try and explore an idea of reharmonization. So with many jazz students, there are a series of different musical ideas and motifs that they work into their music, and one of them is something that kind of sounds like this. If I can play it without messing up. So that might be a very, very famous theme. If you listen to a bit of jazz music, you may have heard that. I normally would be using my MIDI keyboard, my MIDI controller. However, in accordance with a series of circumstances, including the very fact that I am currently using my phone to record my face cam. So if you see the little box as well that kind of pops up with the camera, that's why. But because of that, I can't really plug in my MIDI keyboard, unfortunately, so we will have to use this wonderful tool built into Logic called musical typing. And there are two different modes for it over here. This one you can kind of click on, and that was quite loud. And this one you can type on your keyboard with, which is absolutely fantastic. Since I believe myself to be a clearly very skilled musician, we're going to be working in the key of A minor. So the first thing that I will do here is move to A minor. Let's pick a tempo. Let's go 84. Let's hear how that sounds. Yeah, that sounds great. It's just a metronome, but metronomes can be quite wonderful sometimes. I will be using the tools that are given to me through Logic's digital audio workstation. I hope you can follow along with my experience within this. So. Fantastic, and now we have our bass melody, B-A-S-E, not B-A-S-S, unfortunately. I kind of want to take this note over here, and I want to give it like a little bit of a taste. I don't want it to be that long, but I do want it to be quite even. Da-da-da-da. Oh, that's not bad at all. I quite like that. Fantastic. So now we have our classic electric piano outfitted in the way that we quite like. Some of the primary instruments that I have used in the past when it comes to some of the music that I've written have included 8-bit synthesizer, which is actually the fantastic plugin that is by YMCK called Magical 8-bit, and it is always obscenely loud. Hear that? Yeah, they have different waves that are quite lovely. That's nice. I like that one. Fantastic. It's a soft sound to it that is a little bit dear to me. So what shall we name this one? We shall name this Chippy for a chip tune. What shall we add to this? I love glockenspiel. That's quite lovely. What I also want is an accordion, and we can work in some of our magic here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to yeah, I want up here, and I'm going to work this into be a bit of a harmony. Beautiful sounding. And let's think about what else we want to add to it. Well, I quite like drum kits, so we can work with a drum kit now. That feels a little bit like a waltz, like a 1, 2, 3, 2, 2, 3. Yeah, that sounds pretty cool. Let's hear that. Ooh, that's sounding pretty jivey. Ooh, that sounds bad. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. We can work a little bit harder than this. So another instrument that I quite like that provides a little bit of structure is actually this one right here. Bottom. Maybe I can move into something weird there with that bass note there. That reminds me of like an old-timey movie from before Telecolor was discovered through Joseph's Coat. Maybe I could throw in a bass there. So I quite like my synthesizers. I'm going to go to a bass, and there is a something E bass, synth E bass over here that I quite like. Yeah, I like that. That sounds quite nice. Ooh, I quite like that. Boom, dong. I can actually have that one little part go all the way until it starts a new segment, which is over here. And I want some kind of auxiliary percussion to go. So actually I have a shaker here. That is being picked up indeed. So actually I can finally utilize this track that I had at the very beginning. Another thing I can do to make this sound a little bit more interesting as a mild shaker part is that I can double it. So what I'm going to do right now is I'm going to do something called creating a summing bus. These are going to be called the shakers. Actually, it's going to be shakers. And I'm going to pan left and right. And if I played it right now, it won't sound any different. Sounds the exact same as if there was just one, or very close to being the same thing. However, I did just get a new plugin from Isotope because it was free, which is great, called Isotope Elements, and it is this mastering tool. It has this great function in the imager called stereoize, by a small amount. Yep, and there we go. So if I have this off, they're still off by, you know, so let's listen to what we have. I believe some snaps might be a little bit necessary. It's fun, I like that. And let's do some more of that. Beautiful, let's do one more. Lovely, so these are our snaps. S-N-A-P-Z. Let's do some cool panning. Takes out a little bit of the oomph of those, but that's okay. And if you hear doors opening and closing, I live in a dorm, so that is that's what happens. And of course, I have the general fortune, but sometimes misfortune, of living right next to the staircase. So what I kind of want to do is I kind of want to have this weird build up, but I don't know exactly where I want it to release at. So there's probably cymbals there. Yeah. So let's look at some cymbals. Gong. I am digging that, or I am needlessly intrigued, or very needfully. That's really interesting. I quite like that. I also happen to have a Nintendo Switch controller here, which is mine. We can get some sounds out of this from the sounds of hitting that joystick and the buttons. And maybe if we do our job right, we can get some cool sounds maybe for over this area over here. It's a Shure SM7B, which is a dynamic microphone. I more than quite enjoy it. It is by far my favorite microphone that I have personally worked with, and I'm absolutely entranced and in love with it. I definitely was quite offbeat there. Maybe the offbeatness sounds at least somewhat palatable. That's a quite interesting sound. With this one, actually, I would also like to do something. I'm going to pitch shift it. So let's start at -4 and let's have the mix be 100%. I was thinking about using the shaker again. And pitch shifting it. Let's try that out. That might not work, but it might work, and I won't know until I try currently. I think that's enough percussion for right now. I got sidetracked entirely when I was trying to look for gongs and other crashy sounds. Let me try and look for them again. I think big room and analog circuits together would create a very interesting sound. And this is where a lot of interesting things will begin to occur. What you can do is you can take that file and you can reverse it, and it creates this really cool white noise swell. Except it's not a white noise swell, it's this cool crash swell. And I'm a fan of that. I'm enjoying that quite a bit. That's very cool. That is very, very cool. What if I just kind of beatboxed whatever I felt into there? And then if I just did some weird EQing on that? What if I bit crushed it too? You can hear me messing up, but that's okay. If I wasn't meant to mess up, then life would be a little bit more boring than it currently is for me. Ooh, I'm a fan. I'm in love with that. That's so cool. Oh yeah, I found a new favorite tool. It sounds almost guttural. I don't believe that came out of my mouth. Every time I play with Logic, I learn a bit more about it, and it's a bit of a beautiful process for me. Quirky. I want to do some weird stuff to that one too. Interesting. I'd like to do something at the beginning to disguise it a bit more. I feel like it should have a cool ending. Alright, so let's get some hums and ums and ahs in here. I did have a compressor on this, right? Yes, let's make that compressor a little bit more compressy. Now we're up to 1 minute, so let's render it. Oh, I never saved this. So this is gonna be called The Lick with 2 C's. Fantastic, let's save this. The Lick. Fantastic, thank you very much for watching. I will see you all soon.